What's up, ravers? This is Rob here with a review of the new crankdat EP, Gear World Volume 1. To give a little bit of context on who crankdat is, he's a multi-genre artist, bounces between bass house, trap, future bass, dubstep, really anything that would be at home on a main stage at a festival. And he's been making this kind of music for like 4 or 5 years now, I'd imagine. Had a bit of a hot streak 2016, 2017, whenever his remix of the Swedish House Mafia song came out. That was around a big time for him where he was getting some pretty high profile remix plays. But as time went on, interest in his music started to decline until last year, late last year, he started putting out a string of remixes of Travis Scott. He remixed 3 songs off the Travis Scott album, Astroworld, and none of them were too compelling for me, but started to get his name back into people's mouths. He started being talked about a little bit more. And I guess this was his lead up to the EP that just dropped, Gear World Volume 1. crankdat is doing his first, not full-length project, but his first attempt at a project of multiple songs that were all his. And I gotta say, very unimpressive collection of songs. I got a quote off the top my man Ghost Mace with saying that these song titles here, Welcome to the Jungle, Monster, Party All Night, Riot, Do You Mind, Nothing Matters. Very generic song titles that we're getting here. And it's really indicative of the kind of music he ends up making. Across the board, there's no identity between the songs. He jumps back and forth between genres, styles of sound design, melodic content. Nothing's really consistent across all of the songs, and it makes it hard to see this as anything more than a compilation of singles he produced over the past year or so and then slapped together into a playlist. This is particularly noticeable on songs like Riot featuring Gammer, where crankdat pretty much takes one of Gammer's previous songs to drop, switches out some of the synth patches, and then throws in a psytrance drop with some of the most brittle plucks that I've ever heard, made my headphones sound like they were breaking, into the middle, calls it a day, and you aren't really getting anything out of that because it's not like crankdat's a psytrance artist, so that's not what he added to the project. And the rest of the song pretty much sounds like a Gammer track. So what does crankdat really bring other than his name and the fact that this is on his EP? The first half of the EP is a collection of assorted bangers that range from bass house to dubstep and pretty much cover the last 2-3 years of those genres to a T. Nothing new being brought to the table, stealing sound design ideas from guys like Bose Vanderbeats on the song Welcome to the Jungle with the chicken synth. Sounds like Skrillex on that song as well. Then some really epic style bass hits on the song Monster, and then Party All Night's just a bass house track where you could throw it onto any SoundCloud bass house compilation and I wouldn't be able to pick out who made it. There was nothing particularly crankdat about it. The EP is rounded off with 2 future bass songs that are really, really uninspired, and the vocal feature from, let me see here, the vocal feature from Shy Beast is some of the worst emo kind of moany singing that I've had to listen to in a while. It was really not up to par. I can't believe that it actually made the cut on this EP. So overall, this EP, it's not bad. It doesn't sound bad. It's got a competent level of sound design. It's got a competent level of mixing. It all sounds okay, but nothing really stands out or makes this any different than anything else that you would hear on SoundCloud, which has always been my issue with crankdat. There is no crankdat sound. He just does what other people do, kind of dumbs it down a bit and throws it into a banger and calls it a day. Maybe crankdat can come back and spend some time working on something to define him other than just super loud snares and over compressed bass lines. I don't really know what crankdat can do at this point to show that his project is unique in any sort of way. This first Gear World EP is not really doing it for me. Maybe you guys feel different about it. I'd love to hear if you do. And that's where the footage died on my PC. But just want to say thanks for tuning in. I'm going to try to do this about once a week, and hopefully you guys come back for the next one. Peace.